Okay, this is the equipment you're going to be wearing for the job performance assessment. You'll have a helmet on, you'll have a bunker jacket, SCBA, you'll be wearing sweatpants, leather gloves, and tennis shoes. All this will be put on prior to the beginning of the JPA. You will have your vital signs assessed before beginning. Okay, the first task you're going to be doing is picking up the hose pack and going up the tower stairs. You'll enter from the exterior into the stairway. On the floor here, we have the 2.5 that is bundled. You will pick it up, you will put it on either your right or your left shoulder. It does not matter. There is a guardrail that is in the tower on the right side. It is not on the left side. You may use the guardrail if you wish. Time will start once the hose pack is picked up and placed on it. Once you touch it, pick it up, put it on one of your shoulders, and then we'll begin to ascend the stairs. So Captain O'Leary is now going to pick up the hose pack. Time would start. We're going to ascend the stairs. Going up the stairs, you are not required to touch every one of them. You may skip stairs if you choose, which he is doing right here. Or you may touch every one of the stairs as you ascend, which he's doing here. Once we get to the top, we're going to set the hose pack off to the side of the doorway where there is 2 boxes marked with paint. When the hose pack is set down, this time will be noted for the first task. Now going up to the top, which is 4 stories. You set it down on one of the orange squares. There's also an orange square on this side. Now we're going to, second task is going to be pulling an 1 3/4 line up the exterior of the tower using a rope. It is attached to the tower as an anchor point, and the rope is attached to the nozzle that is 4 stories down. The goal of this is to bring the hose line up. We will show you where the marker is and where time will stop. Captain O'Leary is going to show 2 different methods of doing this. First one is the hand over hand method, where you lean over the rail and you pull the rope up. The second method is you can just use the rope itself and drag it across the rail. As Captain O'Leary is doing that, we'll look at the hose line coming up. Be aware that the nozzle comes first, that it does not hit you, and then continue pulling the hose until you get to the coupling that is marked green. As we look down, you can see the coupling is beginning to come up. Once the coupling passes the rail and is there, the proctor will tell you done. At that point, you can now return back to the stairwell for the third task. Third task is Captain O'Leary is now going to pick up the hose pack. He's going to place it back on his shoulder, and now he's going to go back down the stairs. This time he will be hitting every stair on the way down. And then once down the bottom, replace the hose pack at the entry point of the door where you began. You will now exit the tower building. You will walk around the designated orange cone, following the arrow that is on the ground. You'll continue to go straight following the arrow until you reach where the sledgehammer prop is. Fourth task is going to be the sledgehammer prop. Sledgehammer is a 10-pound sledgehammer used to strike the inner part of the circle right here. If you hit the outside of it, not a big deal, but this is where your target is. The goal of this is to strike and make this move where this pin is here to come in contact with the wheel. Once this reaches contact, you'll hear a buzzer that goes off. When that buzzer goes off, you're done with the task. Captain O'Leary now is going to demonstrate a couple of different techniques that you can use to do the sledgehammer. First one is he's just going to do kind of a baseball swing type to it with both hands down towards the bottom of it. Another technique that you can use is you can do your hand to slide up towards the head of the sledgehammer and then goes down as you strike. When you hear the buzzer, the proctor will tell you done, and then you'll move on to the next phase. After completing the sledgehammer prop, Captain O'Leary is now going to follow the arrows around the cones. And then he will come to the hose drag. 1 3/4 line. To simulate water, it has a chain in it. You will start where the 2 cones are here. This is the beginning line. You may put the hose across your body in any manner that you'd like. If you'd like to have the nozzle down further, or if you'd like to have the nozzle mid-chest or up on your shoulder, that is your preference. The task here is to drag the hose line all the way to the cones down there. The task is complete once the nozzle breaks the line of the cone. So Captain O'Leary is going to go ahead and start. Cones are coming up. Once the nozzle breaks the plane of the 2 cones, then this task is complete. Okay, we're going to talk about the parts of the ladder. It's a 35-foot extension ladder, 2 flies and 1 base. I'm going to walk into it now. We'll show you down here at the bottom where it notes that it is a 35-foot ladder. We're going to talk about some of the parts that are to it. You can see that there are fly sections. This is a fly section, second fly section, and then this is the base. The flies will extend. The base is what is mounted to the building. Parts of the ladder. Captain O'Leary is now going to show you what the halyard is by identifying it. That is the halyard right there. That is what makes the ladder go up and down. We'll focus on a couple of the other parts. These are rungs. Rungs are where you climb the ladder. And now we're going to go down and we'll show you 2 different views. This is the right side. This is the left side, which is called a dog. A dog is a lockable mechanism that goes on the ladder itself to lock that fly onto that rung. Below it is what is called a paw. That is what lets the ladder retract. So he's going to extend it here real quick. You'll see how the paw is now allowing that dog to let through, and back up allows it to lock. This becomes important when extending the ladder to where if you need to stop and get another grip hold, or if you need to take a momentary break, that is important. So we're going to do the lock and the dog and the lock and the paw one more time. So that is in the lock position. We'll go up 1. We'll go all the way up so you can see how it's going to lock into the next one. Okay, that has gone up once and it is locked. You can see how the paw is down there. There's a bottom shot from it. And now we're going to show how to retract the ladder. You extend back up. And now as it comes back down, you'll see how that paw goes past, lets the lock go down, and then goes back down. We will also discuss this on the practice day, but it is important that you understand how the ladder mechanisms work. But that is the ladder in itself. Again, a 35 mounted to the wall, 2 flies that extend out. We will show what full extension looks like when Captain O'Leary demonstrates the task. Okay, after completing the hose pull, we're now going to move to the ladder. Going to walk forward around the cone following the arrow to the commercial building where there's a 35-foot ladder mounted to the exterior. Couple of important things before we start. The hand position best suited for this is to take a bite, and that is demonstrated by putting your thumb towards the bottom and then grabbing and twisting it. It will help give a bite on that rope. If you were to just do with your thumb up in a regular fashion, the rope may slip through your hands. So the best technique for this is to get a bite that's on there. When you begin pulling on the halyard, you'll notice that you will have slack going towards the base of the ladder. You are not allowed to step on the rope at any time. That becomes into a safety issue. So we're going to demonstrate how the ladder is extended into the full position. As you notice, as it goes up, there is tape that is on the bottom rung. Duct tape that is there. If you follow the duct tape up as it goes, on the top rung of the base is another piece of duct tape. So when those two match, you'll know that you are fully extended. Let me zoom in so you can see where the tape is. It is right there on the ladder, on the fly, and on the base. You will also note that the ladder is fully extended. When Captain O'Leary pulls on the halyard and goes all the way, it will not go any further. So he'll demonstrate that it is up all the way. And then as you bring it back down, you have to click it to where the dogs lock. And we discussed that in the video on the mechanics of the ladder. There is a viewpoint of where the cable attaches. And as it comes down, there is one of the dogs and the locks that are there on that side, along with the silver tape. Again, it is important that you'll note the rope begins to accumulate on the bottom. You are not allowed to step on that rope, as it becomes a safety hazard. If you were to lose control of the ladder, you may become entangled and injured. Now, to retract the ladder, Captain O'Leary is going to have a good solid base again that is there. He's going to go all the way up so that the locks are no longer engaged, and the ladder is now retracting from the building. You notice that there are two flies in the base. If one of the flies is stuck and only one of the flies is retracting, we will stop you, have you go all the way fully extended again until both sets of dogs are released. Now on the bottom here, the task is complete once the locks are fully engaged again on that bottom rung. A couple of different techniques we will show you is you can put your forearms against the ladder if you'd like and just pull on the rope. This is one of the techniques that you can use to pull the halyard. Another one is you can stand away from the ladder a little bit, spread your legs out so you have a solid base, and use part of your body weight to pull the ladder down. Those are a couple of different techniques that you can choose. When dealing with the ladder, if you become tired or you would like to get a regrip, you must lock the ladder out before letting go of the halyard. If you continue to go up in one motion and you are unable to lock the dogs, the ladder will come back down and you will not be able to stop it. So on the day of the practice, make sure that you understand fully how the ladder works, the mechanisms of it, and you are allowed to take a pause in between as long as you still are within accomplishing all the tasks in the 8 minutes and 30 seconds. After completing the ladder, you're going to walk back down the sidewalk. You will go to the fan, which is a boxed fan, an electric fan sitting on a wooden platform. You will pick the fan up. A couple different techniques. You can pick it up by the handles, hold it to your body this way. You may carry it one-handed, however you would like. You just need to carry the boxed fan from the stand down around the designated cone. You may enter on the right side or the left side, around the cone, and then return the fan back to the wooden platform. After completing the box fan, you will then walk to the mannequin drag. We'll discuss a couple of different techniques in which this may be accomplished. You'll note that there are 2 cones marking the finish, which is also the start line. Mannequin is right here, head is behind the crack in the sidewalk, which is also noted with a red line. A couple different ways that you can do this. If you choose to use a strap, there is a long strap and a shorter strap. Captain O'Leary is going to demonstrate where you can wrap it around the chest and under the arms, which has 2 loops, and then you may begin to drag the mannequin that way towards the cone. That's one style of it. The time is included in the setup when you are using a strap on the mannequin. So just to be aware that in the 8 minutes and 30 seconds, the time that it takes to put the webbing on is included in that 8-minute, 30-second time limit. Another technique that you may use, put the mannequin into position, get your arms underneath, lock your hands if you're able, and pick straight up, and then walk backwards. There will be somebody standing right next to you, helping guide you as you go backwards. You'll note that the cone is right there. You'll see how the arrow points. It does not matter if you enter in the right or the left side, around the cone, back to the beginning. There will be somebody standing next to the cone telling you when you're complete, but the mannequin needs to be fully past the line that is in the concrete there, which is noted by the cones. Last task is the ceiling push-pull prop. You will walk along the concrete to the orange cone designated next to the pole barn. Again, you will have somebody with you to guide you. You'll walk to the right of the cone, noted with an arrow that is on the ground. You'll enter through either the man door or the garage door in the pole barn. We'll talk about the mechanics of the push pole. So there is a pike pole that will be sitting there. There are 2 props built in this machine. This is the push, where you're going to physically push this up until you hear it bang, and down. That would be considered 1. I'm going to do one more shot back out so you can see fully what it looks like. So you will do 5 of those, and then you will move over to the pole. The Halligan, the pike pole just wraps around the top with the hook, and it pulls the weight here. So Captain O'Leary is going to go ahead and demonstrate. Top bar must hit the top or the bottom of the bar noted up there. You'll do that 5 times. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate what it looks like of 2 rounds of 5 up and 5 down.